Dota 2 is a large and intimidating game. This is something no one is able to dispute. This video presents 5 tips that are sure to increase your overall impact in your games when applied diligently to your playstyle, with the focus of this video being for those who like to play position 4 or 5, also known as supporting. Planning wards and sentries is a natural thing for any role, but more so the support when it comes down to the average game. It's therefore important to become very prolific and efficient at it. A trick you often see higher level players make use out of is the use of the Courier as a way to garner vision when they ward as supports. Many support players will use the initial small vision range given by sentry wards to deward, which may come back to bite them when they don't manage to find the ward that they were looking for and have to plant an additional sentry to find it. This can be circumvented with the use of the Courier, as it will give you vision over elevated ground you can't normally see without an ability that gains vision or by planting a ward yourself. This will save you a lot of hassle and save up a lot of sentry usage in the long run. Sound design in Dota is great, fantastic even. It gives you a large amount of information, and the keen listener will be able to predict things about to happen even without visually being able to see anything. This is where this tip comes in handy. Every hero in the entire game has several voice lines for successfully denying a creep, often throwing out a quip at their opponents when doing so. But were you aware that they do not do this when they don't have vision over any opponent? This results in that if you're very focused on the auditory aspects of Dota 2 and you're hiding somewhere doing laning, either because you're invis or trying to set up a gang in the trees and you hear the opponent throws out one of the deny responses, it means that they currently have vision over you. This happens within 1000 radius around them as well, so the clever listener will be able to basically determine if there's a sentry, ward, or opponent hero that's currently giving vision over them, since there should be no reason for the denying hero to send out a mocking reply for denying. While less of a tip, and more of a recommendation, this one still felt appropriate to put within the video for aspiring support players that want to get better. Many people fall into the pit trap of simply buying too many wards and sentries. That's not to say that it isn't important, but that your money in Dota 2 is very finite, and spending it where it makes the most sense is crucial, even for a support. It's rather common to see a support player run around with multiple sentries and wards at the same time, and yet for several minutes not plant them down, thus rendering them mostly useless for their duration. This is extremely critical because an observant opponent will look towards you and make a notice of you running around with them for an extended period of time, and have a better idea of where you're planting them. Furthermore, there are times where a Slark might want a few sentries for himself, or your mid player wants to buy an observer ward for himself. If you find yourself relentlessly buying these items without a second thought, you might very well be hurting your own early mid game economy as well as hampering the ability of your cores. Wards and sentries are ultra important, but be smart about how you delegate your limited funds. Smoke of Deceit is perhaps the #1 item at turning around a game in general, because it even allows a team that is behind to get a superior engagement upon an unsuspecting opponent. While many are aware that smoke can be used to achieve these powerful plays such as favorable engagement and rush fights, it's also worth noting that a smoke at the right time can actually recover you from a bad team fight or even save a teammate in need. When smoke pops, effectively, assuming no one is in the range, the smoke player becomes completely invisible and will only be revealed when coming into 1025 radius of another player or tower. If you find yourself against certain nasty spellcasters in particular, that love dishing out damage from a distance such as Sniper, Arc Warden or Tinker, you're actually able to dodge a lot of the damage when popping a smoke. Sniper's ultimate will miss its target if the smoke is thrown as the projectile travels towards the intended target, and every Tinker rocket that was flying towards a player hero will also miss their intended target if they get cloaked by a smoke. Smokes are very valuable, and this is a very specific tip that isn't always applicable. But if you do find yourself doing a smoke game with your team, and you are in possession of 2 smokes on your person, know that it's an option available to you. Or, if bad luck would have it, that your team gets jumped by the enemy, and you have a smoke, that it might just be the edge your team needs to make a bold escape and survive to fight another day. Ah yes, nary a video goes by where I don't mention Quickcast, and why wouldn't I? It's awesome. In case you are one of the Quickcast enjoyers, but still like to play supports who might have a lot of activating items such as Force Staff, Glimmer Cape, wards, sentries, etc., you might be very interested in using a combination of Quickcast and regular cast keys. By using Quickcast, you lose out on the ability to double tap your key as if it had been a regular cast bind, because said key now will try to cast immediately on being pressed so that it cannot be double tapped. This is when combining quick cast with regular cast comes real handy. Assuming you have enough keys on your keyboard to make use of, you can now make a button that's dedicated to quick casting a Force Staff while also having a button for self-casting it. This can become especially helpful when you start accumulating multiple items that can be cast on yourself as well as others. And doing so faster, rather than later, often being the deciding factor on whether or not a fight or an engagement plays out favorably or not. That's all the tips I have for all support enthusiasts for this time. I hope you found them useful and keep practicing to become even better. Did you find any of these support tips particularly fancy? Let me know in the comments. If you like my content, you can catch me live at twitch.tv/fabkyobashi. Have a great day and thank you for watching.